Hi, church. It's Pastor Jonathan Mann. I thought I'd bring to you a devotional here today. Thought I'd start maybe something new and give it a try. Got a little extra time nowadays, so I thought I'd maybe just encourage ourselves with just some words of scripture, tell some stories, have a good time, and just connect with you. Do know that there's many devotionals out there, and so a lot of what I've been struggling with since bringing the kids back to daycare and knowing I'd do this one day was what unique thing can I bring to the table. So I'm going to be starting up a kind of new series with this devotional with just lessons from the bike path. And what I mean by that is COVID, when I had the kids and was home for quite some time, didn't get to do a lot of working out. So definitely gained on the pounds, lost a lot of muscle. And so these days I've been trying to bring some of that back, especially doing some kind of non-strenuous exercises like biking. And my wife was kind enough to get me a beautiful bike for one of my presents. And so been driving it around lately as the kids go back to daycare, enjoying nature, having a good time, and trying to get physically fit again a little bit to feel a lot better and just to know that I'm taking care of myself. So, of course, in doing that, there's been some experiences that I thought kind of meet Scripture in some kind of unique ways and at least bring maybe a smile or even just unique experiences to bring to the Scripture and to share with you. Wanted to share our Scripture here today, and devotional thought is from Psalm 42. As the deer pants for streams of water, so my soul pants for you, O God. Now, I know as we read that scripture, it's easy for all of us to think of that really hot summer day. And, it's just humid and it's been hot for a while. And, the little ponds and little streams have all dried up. And you think about that deer that's just trying to survive, running around, looking for that water, that clean water, and just panting and searching and knowing that if it doesn't find it, it won't survive. And we kind of understand that even from our neck of the world, but even more so in Israel, where everything is, this portions of it at least are basically rock and sand and heat. And so you can think of, this deer hiding out in the cave in the shade, but needing to go find water. And most of the riverbeds and things are all dried up, and it has to go to find something like an aquifer or a well or some type of water source that's not stagnant, which is very, very rare. And just searching out and trying to find that and how it has to do that. And you can think of the author watching these deers, the deer run around Israel in those days and thinking to himself, my soul pants for God just like that. That it needs God. It absolutely has to have God. And of course, you and I do need God so very, very much. And each and every day, each and every moment that we need God, and we need to search for God, seek God. And it's not just something you find one day and it's over with, but each and every day you have to search for God and yearn for God and seek His will. I know that I always ask myself when I wake up in the morning, am I doing that? Am I searching for the Lord? Am I seeking the God? Am I wanting to do the best I can to bring His kingdom in this day? And the answer ultimately always deep down inside is absolutely yes. Totally want to do that. But of course we as humans, have this funny way of functioning in these higher levels, if you will. And that sort of lead us astray where it's like, oh, I can do that later. I got time to do that later. Or, I got to get these few things done first. Or maybe that's not important today. Or there's something else pressing that I need to do. And so, we get off kilter in that so easily each and every day. And it's a temptation to do that. And of course, the writer here reminds us, no, if you're going to get one thing right, search for God, the well of our souls. As I mentioned before, I've been doing bike path and riding around in the Groveport area, and sometimes riding down to Pickerington, sometimes riding over to Three Creeks Park and past. It's kind of nice because the bike trail comes near my neighborhood, so I don't have to go too far to even jump on it. So I've been doing some biking, trying to get a little more fit, trying to build some muscle up, especially get the heart exercise, all those good things. And had an experience the other day where I was riding. And of course, when I ride, if you ever see me on the bike path, you know it's me because I look ridiculous. I have, first of all, I got the camel backpack with the water in it, so I got the straw coming up, sucking on it. And then I wear like a full face helmet that's for like downhill mountain biking that I just have one, so I use that instead of a normal one, but it's got like this, and it comes down. My wife tells me I look like a pterodactyl, so I kind of have the full face, almost night helm looking thing going on. And then I have, like, for instance, bright yellow shoes that are the ones that have the little clips that you clip into the bike. except I'm so cool that I actually don't have the pedals that have the clips on the bike to clip in my shoes to make them work right. So I just look, I'm the wanting biker that just can't seem to get everything all together, but I still go out and enjoy and have a good time anyways. So I, just look ridiculous as I'm biking around. And I'm coming home, been on a nice distant bike path for where I'm at right now, and really tired. I've pushed it to the metal, if you will, and I'm coming back home. And I'm still quite a distance from home, but I'm coming back, and the bike path just in Ohio just goes past all these beautiful scenery and lovely green trees and creeks and all sorts of neat kind of stuff to bike through. But it's an asphalt path. It's like actually paved. And so as you're riding, as I'm riding, all of a sudden I turn around a corner and way up ahead, there's a deer. And I mean, like, there's a deer and it's just chewing, having a good time, eating its leaf or grass or whatever it grabbed, and it's just chewing, and it sees me. And, normally the deer just kind of freeze up and just don't move and wonder, like, if I don't move, you won't see me, right? And this deer has no qualms about it, whatever. It just keeps chewing. It's just wagging its tail. It's just having a good time. And it's, pretty far away. So I'm thinking, as I get closer, it's going to freeze. It obviously sees me because I saw it look at me. But as I get closer, it's going to freeze. It's going to run off. And I'm watching it. And it goes, as I'm getting closer, I'm thinking it's going to dart. And what I mean by it's almost right on the path. Like, there's the bike path, which is asphalt. There's the green grass, and then there's a shrubbery. And the deer is actually standing on the grass, right? And almost its foot is almost on the asphalt. That means we're right there off the path. And so I'm biking and I'm waiting and I'm just watching. I'm kind of playing a little game with myself. Like, when is this deer going to bolt? And I get closer, no bolt. I get closer. It doesn't even freeze. Nothing. Get closer. And I actually get like within 6 feet of this deer. I mean, it needs to go get tested for COVID because I get so close to this thing and it is just chewing, wagging its tail, not afraid of me whatsoever, having a holiday right there on the path. And, I breeze by it and I kind of look back and it just kind of gives me like a little look and then just kind of never moves, just stays there unfazed by my presence whatsoever, this deer, which was very unique. I never really experienced it that close besides like a domesticated deer or like a deer in a zoo or something, getting that close to an animal. It was right there. I could have reached out and touched it. It was so close. And, but I was laughing because, from its point of view, it probably would come to the scripture and, it's watered up. It's doing great. It's having a great little holiday. And meanwhile, I'm sitting there huffing and puffing and I'm sucking on my water and I'm sweating it out and I'm exhausted and tired. And it probably thought to itself, as Pastor Jonathan on his bike pants for streams of water, so my soul pants for you, oh God. It's kind of one of these reversal moments where you realize, you yourself in scripture are the one that needs to search and find. And of course, as we're here today, we know spiritually, each and every single one of us, physically may not look like I did on that moment, but deep down inside, spiritually, we are thirsty and panting, and we need the righteous water from the Lord.